Bro.
Hi, this is Justin Roberts, and you are listening to 3 Count Thursday. Hope you enjoy it.
A little bit of the bubbly.
I did it for The Rock.
Give me what I want.
Everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable. Mamma mia!
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday, live here right on our Facebook page. We are glad to be with you again this week. It is Thursday, June the 11th, 2020. We, of course, are the podcast of the millennium. We have tons to talk about this week, including the Queen wants more gold, Bebe ain't going anywhere, and another pay-per-view. But first, check out 3countthursday.com. That's where you'll find all of our social media links, our YouTube channel, our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net. Our collar and elbow brand deal, you get 10% off by using the promo code 3count at collarandelbowbrand.com. Also, you can check out our Patreon. Our home network is NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. And we also stream daily at leibsports.com, which is, of course,
LEEIB sports.com.
Thank you, Ryan. I wasn't sure if you were so ingrained in your weekly reading that you would get that or not. So I thank you. I thank you. We are back this week. No Tim. Intern Mark may be stopping by, but if not, it will just be the original trio, and that's okay as well. And if you are following along with us on the live video, we'd appreciate if you give us a like, give us a share, and get as many people in here as possible and interact with us as the night goes on. We'd appreciate that as well. If you missed the breaking news a little bit before we Ryan has a beverage tonight. Thank you, Ryan. If you missed the breaking news, Paul Heyman no longer head of creative over at Monday Night Raw. It is now the Bruce Pritchard Show on Monday and on Friday. So yeah, Bruce is in charge of Raw and SmackDown creative. That coming from the WWE just maybe about an hour ago, I believe. So shouldn't change much with SmackDown because he was already in charge of SmackDown, but I guess we'll see come Monday if it changes anything with Monday Night Raw. Interesting little tidbit there. So and it said, like, in the release, it said that Heyman is going to focus more on his on-screen duties, but we haven't seen Brock Lesnar since he lost at WrestleMania. So I don't know what on-screen duties Paul Heyman really has at this point, unless Brock's coming back or Heyman has a new client or something like that. So, Ryan, in case you were wondering, I am drinking a Coors Light.
Oh, I can switch it up if we need to.
Ooh, a little McDonald's.
Unsweet tea?
No, just a Coke.
Always Coke. It's always Coke at McDonald's for Ryan. It used to be Mountain Dew at Arby's, but they changed.
Used to be. Yeah, and that was a bullshit move.
Yeah, that rocked Ryan's world to the core.
Didn't like that very much.
So what's the beverage of choice when you go to Haas's?
Haas at Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Yeah, they serve Pepsi there.
Yeah, I was say if it's a Pepsi. If it's a Pepsi world, then you're Mountain Dew. If it's Coke, you're Coca-Cola.
Right, and I don't switch from that. There's no need to.
I mean, why would you? Why would you ever?
Right, why would anybody?
Why would anybody ever just stray off the path?
You know what you like, you color within the lines. You'll be fine.
Sure.
Haas's is
Did
opening
everybody-
though soon. Their salad bars, they're opening soon. That's probably where Mark's at. He's in line waiting.
That I know. We talked about that the other week. That maybe the takeout business at Haas's just wasn't bringing the crowds in,
You
and that's
think?
why that's why they had to shift to reopening the salad bar. Now here's the thing.
No, Jim, I know you've eaten at Haas's. Matt, I'm not sure if you've ever dabbled in Haas's. I don't know. But did you ever go there for their steak?
No.
Or their chicken?
No, I think
their-
we were discussing
Their seafood?
this. Yeah, we were discussing this last week when you were away. Like occasionally, like when they would run like the 99-cent cheeseburger special, like with the salad bar. Like maybe, okay, I can get a $1 burger today.
Sure.
But yeah, or like the onion loaf or something like that. If I really felt bad about myself that day, or wanted to ruin my weekend. But otherwise, no, it was pretty much a salad bar. But now here's the question. This doesn't just apply to the Haas's salad bar, but like any place it's like a buffet salad bar, anything like that. Like say they reopen tomorrow. Are you partaking in the communal food world yet?
On day one, I'll go day one if I'm like one of the first people there. If I get to Haas's and there's a line already, then
You're out. You're out.
There won't be. It's Haas's.
I'm gonna say, if anything, it's gonna be intern Mark. And you'll just have to watch him.
Mark will be ahead of you.
Yeah, like you'll just have to watch him, make sure he washed his hands, and that's about it.
You gotta be free of all those Roots Market germs.
Yeah, I have a feeling, and this is just me, it is going to be a while till I dine at any like shared utensil facility.
No more family cupboard.
See, now family cupboard's a place where you can go and actually just get a meal. You like that's
fair.
not a place where like you go just to get the salad bar, because they do have really good food. But
They do have
I
good
don't
food.
think I'm going to be partaking in many buffets anytime soon, which is a shame because obviously, look at me, I love buffets.
What are you doing with the microphone behind you?
Oh, it's just
Is that on a
just
mic
hanging out.
stand? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on a mic stand. It's just
Okay.
It's just for decoration.
It just looked
The
different.
wall's talking to me. I miss you guys in studio. Like I
That's
just
fair.
figured, I've been in quarantine for 3 months. I've missed you guys. The walls start talking to you. Maybe, I don't know.
Matt, I love your name, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I decided for this episode that I would be. I'll change my name every time someone new starts watching with us. So,
Oh wow.
Lee joined in. So Lee, that the HBK's I is for you. Next person join in, I'll do something else.
Mine was just a
Jason-
reminder for Big Jim.
Well, I unmuted us all at the start, and we're all good.
I still had to go in and unmute myself. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, it has got to just be whatever system you're on,
Because I yelled "What a maneuver" from my book, and ain't no one heard it.
yeah, I didn't hear it at all.
Breaks my heart.
I thought you were gonna do like the 90s sitcom entry when they said "and Ryan," you would like peek out from behind.
Dude, true story on this one, and I swear at some point we will talk wrestling tonight. But like out of all like the like I've been watching different shows. I finally finished Glow, the season of Glow. I'm an episode into the Big Show. Whew, that was a tough watch. I will finish the season, but that first episode didn't make me resume watching the second one right away.
It's no good.
I have now finished. I watched the new season of 13 Reasons Why this week. That's a heavy watch. That show, maybe not the best for me to like to watch right now, because like, but I've gone back on Hulu and started watching some like older sitcoms again, just for and I've started watching Step by Step recently again. So good old Frank Lambert and Carol. So that's been occupying my time, of course, in wrestling as well. But
Of course.
Sure. A little wrestling in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Like if anybody else in the comments, if you've been reaching back into the archives of some of your favorite shows just for like a little mindless entertainment, let us know what you've been watching.
This will be my most controversial statement ever on
Uh-oh.
the podcast of 3 Count Thursday. But since you brought up Step by Step, and Jim, this is probably going to upset you more than anyone, I would think, but
Okay.
give me Al over Topanga every day of the week.
Oh, no. No. Now don't get me wrong. Al, stunner. I'm not gonna lie. But Topanga was, I mean, you can have her. I'll keep my Topanga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to co-sign that on Jim there. Jim's got it right.
Got it right. We're also working our way through the final season of Fuller House on Netflix as well. So, it's we're keeping busy as much as we can with shows. But did everybody
Matt,
rewatch? Did you guys?
Are you a 13 Reasons Why guy? Did you watch that?
I read the book. I watched the first season, and that was enough for me. I don't like to find myself rooting for teen suicide, but that's kind of what I ended up doing by the end of season 1, and was just a little upset that it wasn't like a mass thing because I didn't like any single character on that show. And to me, the book itself kind of like romanticizes it. So I don't know that necessarily it's like great reading material, but the message is there. I get it. But from what I've heard of like season 2, I'm kind of glad I did not partake in that.
Yeah, they stray away from the main idea of episode or of season 1 pretty quickly, and then they just repeatedly jump the shark, with the same story. Yeah, so I mean, when the main character kills herself off in season 1, it's hard to move on. But yeah, they've I don't know. I fell in love with the characters. I really did, because I don't think I like any of them. Like you said, I think they're all heels. To talk wrestling a little bit, but every once in a while you got to cheer for a heel.
Sure.
Yeah, it's definitely if you're into the show, it's kind of a weird journey, like mentally through that show. But I enjoyed, Ryan. I look forward to when you actually finish the season.
This morning. Yeah, I finished it this morning.
Okay, yeah. Interesting way it finished up. I was very surprised. I won't spoil.
I was
anything.
waiting for a car to come and just fucking hit the car.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Exactly. I was so tense watching like the last scene, because it's like, are they going to do something that's just going to totally screw with you at the very end, or we'll leave it at that.
They don't get hit.
There you go. Devin says he does and I did enjoy this show when it was on. My Name is Earl. Was always a fun little easy watch. So
I don't think I've ever watched it.
Oh, I think you would enjoy
Ever.
it. I actually think you would enjoy it, but I don't know if you want to like get into that now. If it's too late. Way too late. Now but you did get into The Office too late and enjoyed the hell out of that.
And Parks.
Loved it. Parks and Rec. Loved it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Takeover?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Let's talk about a little bit about it here. Obviously, let's talk about the backlot brawl, because over the last couple of months, we've seen all of these cinematic matches, and some have been better than others. Some have been like instant classics, things like that. Adam Cole defeating the Velveteen Dream. This one, I felt like it missed a little bit with me. It was still a fine piece of entertainment or whatever, but it didn't have the same feel for me as the other cinematic matches. Like, easily this one was my least favorite of the cinematic matches so far. It felt weird how, like, it's a backlot brawl. I don't care that the ring was there, but like, I thought it was a little odd that in a backlot brawl you had to have the fall happen in the ring. Like I like, to me, that was a little odd right off the jump. And then it just, I don't know. And maybe it's because I wasn't trying to like imagine that it was going to be like the Goldust and Roddy Piper, the Hollywood Backlot Brawl from WrestleMania 12, but it just didn't. And I think Nick kind of hits it on the head here in the comments. He said it seemed a little forced at times more than the other one. I think that's a great way to put it, and because it just, like, I felt like even at 14:57, I felt like it felt a little long. None of the other ones, to me, really, I felt like, oh my God, this is dragging on. This one, I was just like, I just kind of lost my interest at times.
I would rather have watched 14 minutes and 57 seconds of the Big Show than watch this match.
Wow. That bad, huh?
There was absolutely no reason, when you have two guys that can go the caliber of Adam Cole and the Velveteen Dream, to put them in a restriction like a pre-recorded match with so much gaga and bullshit. It didn't need to happen. My least favorite match on the card. Absolutely my least favorite cinematic match.
It's definitely my least favorite match on the card. I'll agree with that one as well. Before we get Matt's thoughts on it, Ryan, if there's a different match on this card that you would have preferred in the cinematic world, which one would it be? Is there
I don't think any of these matches needed to have it.
You think NXT should just stand on its own as its a wrestling show?
I'm not saying that. I feel like this was forced. It didn't need, this card didn't need anything. The in your house portion of it, keep it then in the house. Like it's simple enough.
Sure.
There's nobody now on the top of my head that I can think of that needs to have a cinematic match right now. Karrion Kross, maybe you could do something really cool with him, but you're going to have to give him some months to really grow and develop his character. I don't think any of these matches needed to have that.
Very good. Matt, thoughts on the Backlot Brawl?
Yeah, I'm definitely the worst of the cinematic matches. I think we're all in agreement with that. Ryan, you're absolutely right. It just didn't need to happen at all. You have two very good wrestlers. You don't really need the show like that. And it took away from what they are able to do just because of the over the top aspect of it. Like, you can have a cinematic match be campy, like, please, by all means, but you have to do it the right way, or it just kind of just distracts you from what's going on. And I think there wasn't enough of a balance between, the cinematic aspect and the actual wrestling. And it all fell flat. And, it's a shame because NXT hasn't ever really needed that kind of thing. We don't get a ton of gimmick matches in NXT just because they let the wrestling speak for itself. So I understand why they wanted to capitalize off of this, because they have had some very good cinematic matches. It's just, I think they picked the two wrong people, and I think they picked the wrong time to do it. You got to let it cool off a little bit. Like, we've seen so many cinematic matches now that, we don't need one on every card. I hope we get some cards without them, just because, at the risk of, like, we like them because it's new and it's not new anymore. So, like, take a pause. Don't just keep shoving this down our throats.
Yeah, and it kind of falls into this trap. Like, this is the third straight weekend now that we have a pay-per-view. So, like, 2 weeks ago when we had the Stadium Stampede, like, that was awesome. You come back with this, and it just kind of missed a little. Now, I know this weekend, and we'll talk about, obviously, the Backlash card. It's reported that the Orton Edge match is pre-recorded, but I don't necessarily think that it's going to be like the cinematic master, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's going to be built up in this sort of a fashion that it's going to be that way. Devin says this is also his least liked cinematic match. So yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement that this match just, like, it just didn't really add up. And it's a shame because, like, I enjoyed the rest of the card. And I thought that everybody else kind of brought it. Yeah, and it is kind of a shame that Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream, like we know how incredibly talented both of these guys are, and the match that they could have had, this, at least while Adam Cole is champion, is kind of the end of that opportunity for these guys. But just kind of looking at the show as a whole, I loved the set. Like they got me. They got me at the beginning. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. You bring back Todd Pettengill. You bring back the old style commercials. It really, really, they hit the nostalgia things. I thought Code Orange's performance at the beginning, I could have left it. I didn't need it. Didn't really know who Code Orange was. Apparently not a lot of other people do too, because those shirts apparently didn't sell much like they thought they were going to on the WWE shop. The Ico Pro commercial, the old, like the shop style commercials, and a good seeing Todd Pettengill back in the WWE fold, even if it is just for one night. That I said if they didn't give me the retro set, it was going to be an automatic F. So I was pleased from the start that I didn't have to fail this pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I agree. Code Orange, was that the band's name?
Yeah.
Is that the same group that does Aleister Black's theme, I think?
I believe so.
Who the hell is this?
They seem screamy like that, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I had no clue really who they were and why they were. It just it comes on, and even and here's the thing, my wife, she watched the whole pay-per-view with me. Like, I don't know if we're having like Ryan withdrawal during pay-per-views, because we can't have you over right now, but and even when like they're performing, she goes, oh, this is kind of unnecessary. They also did the Fiend's the new Fiend theme. So
I didn't know.
They're kind of in the WWE mix. But yeah, overall it was,
who the hell is this?
And that's kind of how I feel about Code Orange.
The CFOs never got a t-shirt.
What's that?
The CFOs never got a t-shirt.
No, and neither did Flo Rida. So something is amiss. Like, it just seems like such an odd piece of merchandise to make.
It is.
If you're a Code Orange fan, even if you're a Code Orange fan and a WWE fan, I feel like that's still a weird sell. Like, you're either going to have like Code Orange merch or wrestling shirts. I don't feel like you're going to buy the mashup of the two. Maybe that's just me.
I know a few people that are going to be getting Code Orange shirts for Christmas.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if they'll ever make it to the clearance page. But do you have a match?
Here's the deal. I hate to be this way. Code Orange has 43,000 followers on Facebook, or on Twitter. 43 grand is not a large number.
No.
For a band. Now they have the check mark, so they are verified. They're a legit band. But 43,000 is not a large number for the WWE to be partnering and throwing up T-shirts for them. It is very weird.
Yeah, that does seem a little small, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. And I'm not saying necessarily it was a bad song. It felt very odd. Like the performance, like wrestling enough in an empty crowd is weird. Or like
You think Triple H is the fan of Code Orange?
Maybe. I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like he's probably somewhat similar to Vince, that like he doesn't listen to music except for what's on when he's working out. Like I just feel like he could just take or leave music. It's all wrestling for him. I
can't wait till Rick Astley just comes on while he's lifting weights one time, and we never going to give you up to fucking theme a pay-per-view. That's going to be great.
That's a shirt I would buy. You give me that limited edition shirt, that one I'm buying. Let's talk about the rest of the card. Was there a match Which match did you like the best? Ryan, we'll start with you.
The women's championship match I thought was really good match. Yeah, so that's the one that I like the best. If that's your question, that's my answer.
Okay, yeah, Matt.
That was also my choice. I thought that one delivered more so than the rest in terms of the finish, the overall wrestling quality, storyline moving forward. I think it gave it all to us. So, I mean, and I think we've kind of always mentioned that NXT's women's division needs like this refocus, rebranding, and I think they did a good job with that. So that would be my pick as well.
Yeah, no, I love that match. I also really enjoyed the North American title match, but the one that caught me by surprise and in a good way was Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa. I kind of expected that one to be, hey guys, go out there and do your thing. And we were going to kind of get maybe like a, 15, 20, 22-minute classic or something like that. And Karrion Kross ran through Tommaso Ciampa in 6:13. It was the shortest match of the night. And I think that was the perfect way to do it. Because, if you're introducing him and that character and that presentation to this NXT audience, who's a better person to Jesus, Matt, your name. Who's a better person than to run clean through than Tommaso Ciampa? Like, there's only a couple other people on the NXT roster that you can run through like that and make that much of an impact. So that to me was my favorite match. Devin says his was Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano. Nick says the way they had Kross run through Ciampa was the proper way to make him look like a beast, like the beast he is. And now we'll see him down the road challenge and beat Cole, which I didn't have a chance to watch NXT last night, but I saw the Scarlett with the hourglass kind of sending a message to Adam Cole. So, maybe I would assume the next takeover is SummerSlam weekend. So, and obviously at this point, we're 2.5 months out ish from SummerSlam, kind of up in the air as to whether or not it'll still be a performance center / Full Sail weekend for NXT and WWE at that point. If there's going to be any sort of fans at that point, I do have maybe an update on the return of fans to the WWE coming up in the news and rumor roundup at the end of the show. So make sure you stick with us on that one. But overall, guys, it was a 6-match. I thought Balor and Priest delivered too. Top to bottom, I thought this was a really fun card. Was it the best takeover? No, but this was the first takeover in this empty arena era, or wrestlers as fans era, whatever we're calling this at this point. But I enjoyed it. Like it had a different feel.
So you gave the 2 fart to the cinematic match and then said top to bottom, really fun card.
Well, okay. But besides that, the in your house portion of the card, top to bottom, real fun. The other one still definitely gets us that. Grade the show. Let's grade the show. Ryan, what grade?
First of all, two takeaways. You had an entire Tommaso Ciampa segment, and you didn't once play the Tomato Champs soundbite that you have, which breaks my heart. Too late now.
Chips.
Too late now. Can't do it after I call you out.
It's never too late. You can always watch Star Wars, Ryan. You can always watch.
Why would I waste my time? Do you know how many movies I'd have to watch?
There's a lot. There is a lot.
Yeah, it's like 13.
I know,
and it's not even done yet.
I know, but dude, we have the time right now. We all have the
There's
time.
like 13 movies plus the side projects.
Yeah, we have the time, Ryan. We have the time.
I don't need that.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't need that. Way too much.
Takeaway. What's the other
Way
takeaway?
too much. I don't fucking remember now.
I mean, you also missed out on a number of merchandising.
I am slipping. I'm gonna hit it again. Just
Merchandising.
I'm sorry. I'm tired. Okay, I haven't slept well this week. I'm tired. So yeah, I apologize. I apologize. I'm slipping on the board. I'm gonna try to do better the rest of the show. We'll kick it off. Devin gives the show a B. So let's start it. Let's start it to you, Ryan. What grade do you give NXT TakeOver in your house?
I would give it, because the main event, or the main event was fine. The men's championship match, the cinematic turd, really hindered it for me. So I am going to say this was an 81%. So a B minus.
Now, I had a professor at Kutztown, and this is the only reason I got a D in his class.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, not that one, but there was a professor that it was 80 through 100 was an A. The 70s were a B. The 60s were a C. The 50s were a D, and 49 and below was failing. And D's get, well, not for me, but D's get degrees. I passed his class with like a 53. I don't even remember what. It was a science, I think.
Is he fucking high on Quaaludes? What the hell?
I mean,
it's the worst grading system I've ever heard.
He was an old professor, so he might have been high on Quaaludes.
Jesus.
But yeah, I got through that class with a 53 for a D. Like I said, still don't have a degree, but I did not fail that course. Matt, what was your grade B for In Your House?
Man, a B minus. That's a little rough, Ryan. I was gonna go straight B as well, because aside from the cinematic match, I thought it was overall very well. I would say, though, probably the worst takeover now, in my opinion.
Okay. Ooh. I think I could agree with that. I think I can agree with that. I am going to give it, and now this is based on the nostalgia of the thing. I'm going to give this an A minus. And the reason that the minus,
for fuck's sake,
the minus is because of the cinematic show. You gave me the set. You gave the bonus. The bonus was Todd Pettengill. If they could have convinced Michael P.S. Hayes to reprise the role of Doc Hendricks, which he poo-pooed all over, that might have salvaged and actually gotten this thing to a flat A or even an A plus, despite
oh my god,
the backlot brawl. But I will give this an A minus.
My lowest grade ever, an A plus.
But it definitely was not a normal takeover. Jason gives it an A minus. Nick says he has to say this is the first NXT card for him that's slightly disappointed. It was solid, it was good, but not the caliber of the others. So he did not give a grade on that, but he did leave it as a disappointment of sorts.
Now, Matt, you said this one replaces whatever your least favorite takeover would have been. Is that what was that? Philly?
Takeover Philly, yeah.
Okay, because that's the one I always go to as well.
Yeah.
And I just pulled up the card. The card's not awful, so I have to go back and watch it to see what I didn't like about it. But I don't know. The card's not awful.
That NXT Philly, like we all always are like, oh yeah, terrible, which pains me because it's Philly, but I've always been like, yeah, nope, didn't like it.
Well, and the main event was spectacular. The main event was Gargano Andrade, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and
I mean, the card reads really good, dude. I mean, it's Aleister Black, Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno, which meh. Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler. I don't remember that one working well at all.
Yeah, I don't. That one just doesn't sound like it was a great match.
Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain.
Okay.
They're not awful.
No, and
I don't know.
the Authors of Pain in NXT were better than they ever were on the main roster.
Right. This is with Paul Ellering as well. So
Right. So that that adds a different flavor to it.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it just didn't deliver. And again, that was the one where we did the CWA show. So we were
Right.
watching that one, delayed and kind of catching it after the fact, which may be part of it. Like, maybe that's part of why it was just like, eh.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
if you remember, like that CWA, like the fan experience there, that crowd was hot. I mean, we were probably just like riding that high.
we
Go
got the
back.
soundbite of all sound bites, or
That's for
the
sure.
originator of the soundbite of all sound bites in What a Maneuver. So it was a, maybe that it was just part of the whole situation. Jason says, does anyone like anything from Philly? The worst part of the card was the location. Wow.
Who was that?
That is AEW's #1 fan, Jason.
Yeah, he earned himself a block. Fuck you.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
That's a dude. You're sounding like me all of a sudden.
He has a top fan badge, Ryan.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's my B. Fuck Philly. Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. Just let it ride then. If he's got,
I didn't know he had the top fan badge. My bad. Oh my goodness. Matt, I love your name again, by the way. I don't know if Jim's noticed this one, but that name change is solid.
Yeah, no, that's the one I was laughing at a little bit earlier. That one.
We
definitely.
haven't had any new people join the.
Well, I just reshared the links, or the actual link to the Twitter. So maybe we'll get a little
good tweet
in there. Let's look ahead, look forward again. Third weekend in a row, I believe. Oh, Matt, yes.
And I don't know, you might have brought this up or planned to have brought it up later, but Randy Orton's tweet about the show. Were we going to discuss that?
Oh, the leg slaps and that. Yeah, no, that was a fun little back and forth with him. And
that's not the first time that he's done something like that, but I was trying to remember, because there was a time where he was kind of like being a sarcastic dick about something, and I couldn't remember exactly.
Are you talking about Randy Orton or me?
Either way.
But no, he was going at it. He was going at it with Ciampa on Twitter, talking about like the leg slaps and this and that. So I don't know if that's a little foreshadowing, if and when, because I know we talked about last week potentially a
tomato chips
call up to the main roster, which and I kind of said that if there's a time to do it, this is probably it, because
tomato chips
has said many times that he doesn't want the travel schedule of the main roster. Well, there's a time as any to make that move. You just have to get to the Performance Center instead of Full Sail. So I think you should probably be okay there. But hey, I'd be all in for a Randy Orton and
tomato chips
matchup, because the Randy Orton the last couple months has I'm not as big of an Orton fan as Ryan is, but I've definitely been digging what Orton's been doing the last couple of months, and I'd be all on board.
Now, Orton is a guy I have never owned, and I'm opening myself up for the Christmas gift thing.
Yeah, I'm just
never owned a Randy Orton shirt.
Buy Matt Randy Orton shirt. Got it.
And Ryan, you missed the discussion last week, but you had brought up weeks prior of like not every wrestler back in the Attitude Era having merch. So can you think of anyone?
Merchandising.
Can you think of anyone currently on the roster, main or even NXT at this point, that does not have any merch? Like just off the top of your head.
NXT, I think everybody got covered when everybody made those really, really bad one-time shirts.
Like the custom,
for everybody that
like
spawned off the
WWE
racist thing with the
shirt,
yeah. I think that took care of most of the NXT brand. Off the top of my head, I can't think right now off the top of my head. No.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking of anybody that doesn't really. It just kind of seems to be like, hey, you're on TV. Here's a T-shirt. Somebody might know who you are. Here's a piece of merchandise.
But like looking
Mickey
back, like
James still with the WWE? Mickey James.
You're right. She probably doesn't have merchandise.
is she still under contract?
That's a good
believe
question.
so.
I mean, they still got Dean Ambrose shirts up on the clearance shop, so
I
contracts
believe
don't matter right now.
Is technically still. She's a commentator for WWE Main Event.
Oh, is she really?
And performs under the SmackDown brand. Maybe she's hurt right now. It says she's part of the SmackDown brand.
Huh. I mean, Goldberg's got like 6 different shirt options, so.
Oof. Well, let's. I just jumped on the.
Thanks
the
to
merch
Matt,
site.
I have one of them.
Is that me?
What? Yeah, my Goldberg shirt that you got me for Christmas last year.
And
remember getting
I'm
that.
gonna try to share my screen here. Let's see if I can do
the
that.
Elias scarf.
Can I share my?
I do have the Elias scarf. That's a great scarf.
I'm not sure how to do that. I thought I can share
Jim,
screen.
it's very tough to figure out.
Something. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I knew how to do this, but I don't want to waste too much time.
Does Murphy have any merchandise?
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Did that come up on
I see it up on the Zoomski.
The Ballad of Mickey James.
There you go.
No fucking way.
Yeah. There it is.
All right, look up Murphy. Does Murph have any
Let's find out.
Murph would be my next guess.
And I love how his name literally, yeah, there it is.
Oh,
all part of
fuck.
all part of that custom one there.
Best kept secret.
The best kept secret.
Brutal chart.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
You didn't have to lie, Jim. You could have just said you wanted to like clear browser history before you shared your screen.
Well, like I forgot that I have all my tabs, and for a real quick second I looked and I'm like, okay, there's nothing incriminating. Nothing that can get me in trouble on the tabs. It's just sports, weather, eBay, and golf stuff. So nothing that can get me in too much trouble.
My link to the Sunny OnlyFans was
yeah. No, that's tucked away in a side folder. That's tucked away in a side folder. I don't want anybody.
Are you still up on the website, Jim?
No, I just closed. I can get back to it.
No, I think I got one.
Okay. What do you got? Who do you got?
I'm gonna hit you with Riddick Moss.
Riddick Moss. Let's find out. Looking. No results for Riddick Moss.
And he was a champion.
He was a champion. He was one of the 24/7 champions. So
he was a champion.
There we go. Ryan won.
I had to pull it up, man. I had to pull up a roster.
Yeah, no, well done. Because quite frankly, you could have given me the rest of this show, and I couldn't have even remembered the fact that Riddick Moss was on the WWE roster. So, research can do a wonderful thing. If you're with us here in the live video, we appreciate that. Give it a like, give it a share. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels.
Tim could not crack the case last week, so we just needed Ryan back to solve the mystery of the wrestler with no merch. Like, because I was like, was there ever like a hardcore Holly shirt?
Oh,
yeah, that I have no idea.
That's always like my go-to when I'm thinking back to like Attitude Era, someone that was like involved in storylines enough that you would think might have that shirt.
I mean, I don't think like the Mean Street Posse ever had a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I looked, I searched like hardcore Holly WWE shirt, and I don't see anything like back then. Like even like Crash Holly, like had just wore like the WWF Attitude shirt. Like I feel like if you didn't have a shirt, they just gave you one with the company logo on it.
That's weird because I feel like I remember like Test had a shirt.
Maybe, but I mean he was also in like that main feud with Triple H. So
Oh,
I
but
like
yeah,
and I'm not
I
trying
think there
to
I think there were TNA shirts for Test and Albert. I think they even existed.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. Uh, all right, let's jump ahead to this Sunday WWE Backlash.
Backrash.
Back Backrash.
He raked my back. That's how he can literally rake it.
Um, but uh, but yeah, WWE Backlash this Sunday, of course, from the friendly confines of the WWE Performance Center, as has been the custom as of late. 7 matches on the card as we sit here tonight. With SmackDown tomorrow, always the potential for something to be added or something to be added over the weekend. As far as I know, this is a live show with the exception of Randy Orton versus Edge, which was pre-taped, I believe, last Sunday, the same day as NXT Takeover. So hey, when you're putting on the greatest match ever, you need to be able to pre-tape it ahead of time to make sure it is the greatest match ever. Truth be told, I hope this match is a fucking roll-up, 1, 2, 3, right after the bell. Like just like the whole build to it, and then it's just whoop. Orton gets caught or Edge gets caught, and we're in and out real quick.
2, 3.
Yeah, just 1, 2, 3, and we're done. And it's that. It's. I think more people would rate that match higher. Not necessarily the greatest match ever, but than what it could potentially be if it goes too long. But
I hope the bell rings, the camera quickly cuts away and misses an Edge spear, and then we get the 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Even better, because and that would even make it better that it was a pre-tape and you still missed the spear. All right, we're gonna start at the bottom, work our way up. This is from the Wikipedia card. So we have Apollo Crews defending his United States Championship against Andrade. Of course, Andrade earning the shot here this past Monday on Raw. Intern Mark and I and Tim, I got their picks earlier today. We all have Apollo retaining. We run the risk of playing the hot potato with the U.S. title, and I like what they've been doing with Apollo. I called it back when he had the injury that took him out of the Intercontinental title tournament. I'm like, I think this is going to lead to him getting the U.S. title. So I'd like to see him continue with the run. So all three of us have Apollo. Ryan, what do you got?
Yeah, this is going to be an A- match, so definitely Apollo.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo Crews. Although if Vince was truly woke, he would see what's going on with Terry Crews and probably take the belt off of him. But
yeah, potentially. Devin has Apollo Crews as well. I feel like this is one of the easier matches on the card to predict. Then we have a triple threat tag team match for the women's tag team titles. New champions, by the way. That was a surprise on SmackDown last week with Bayley and Sasha Banks picking up the win. Now it is Bayley 2 belts, or Bayley Dose belts. Sorry, Bayley Dose belts, as she clarified on her Twitter page last weekend. So they are defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the two Conics, the Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. So intern Mark has Bayley and Sasha retaining. Tim and I, and this is just me, this is not on Tim's commentary, we both have Sasha and Bayley losing to the Iconics, much like WrestleMania 35. I did like the photo shoot when Bailey and Sasha did here. Let's sit on the floor and cry. I thought that was really good. So I have the Iconics. Tim has the Iconics. Intern Mark has Bailey and Sasha Banks retaining.
Yeah, Jim. I think you and old Timmy Boy are right here with the Iconics. So I will put my name under you and under you and Timmy, and say this will be another A match.
Timmy!
Matt, what do you got?
I mean, I think it will be an actually good match. I don't know necessarily that they're going to take the belts off of Bailey Dose belts and Sasha real quick, but makes sense. Some more pettiness on Twitter from Sasha. I think that's the best Sasha that we get on social media. So I'd like to see it, but I think Bailey and Sasha retain.
All right. We have Devin says Bailey and Sasha retaining as well. The throwers, D Nice and Charlie in the house. So welcome into the live video. Matt, we got a lot of new viewers in here. So you're slipping. You're slipping as bad as me.
It's not giving me the notification when someone's joining anymore.
Oh, okay. That's what you're going by, because I'm up to like 11 people up on the live view right at this second. So that there are definitely more people in. But Ryan, I like your name on the screen. If you're only listening on the podcast audio, you need to jump over on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and see the video, and you'll know what we're talking about when we're talking about the names on the screen.
Really digging deep for this one. I hope you enjoy it.
All right, I will wait.
We already enjoy it, Matt.
I'll give us the next match. Is a singles match between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Oh my God, that's a good one. So Mark, Tim, and myself, we all have Sheamus picking up the win here. This match, like I hope it's good. Like I don't have a lot of expectations for it. I hope it's good. But we'll see. But we all have Sheamus picking up the win.
Yeah, I think this one's probably going to go 22 minutes, and it's going to be a just a barn burner. Probably an A+ match here, but I have Sheamus.
Sheamus,
okay. Thank you, Ryan. Matt, who you got?
Definitely do own a Sheamus t-shirt, so I'm just based on that, I'm picking Sheamus.
Which Sheamus shirt do you own?
It's actually one that I got on eBay, and I've never actually seen him wear it, but it just says like Sheamus across, and then there's just some like Celtic symbols behind it. So
I had
like a fan-made shirt that I ended up with, but
I had the one. It was like a red like blotch of paint. It had like that like coiled up like snake logo or whatever he has, and it was a cool shirt. But the thickness on the red like paint stripe, it was like a freaking chest plate. It was worse than a John Cena t-shirt. Like you would wear it, and if it wasn't like 20 degrees or lower, like because I'm fat, like the chest sweat under that chest plate was absurd. I'm like, this is not okay. Why would you ever put like this much printing on a shirt? Completely unnecessary. Ridiculous.
a lot of growing up to do.
A lot of growing up to do.
The Cesaro Real American shirt was just as bad as that. I know exactly what you're talking about. It just pulled you forward. There was so much fucking paint on
it. You put it on and you're like, oh crap. It's weighing me down. It's like an anchor.
Because you had the exact problem then with the Sasha Banks legit boss shirt, right? Because it was like
oh my God. That right. Like and you know what's funny is like I bought the new Edge shirt. You know, obviously it's a fat size. The printing on the new Edge shirt is like crust to tip, man. It is like just under the neckline all the way to the bottom of the shirt. Fantastic. I loved that legit boss t-shirt. I get it, and I'm not even kidding. Like if you're looking on the screen, the printing was this big on a 4XL. Like I took a picture of it and I even emailed it to the WWE shop and I'm like, this is a joke, right? Like you guys were printing a bunch of like kids mediums and somehow a 4XL fell onto the printer and you just sent it out. Like you're gonna send, and they swore, and I wish I would have kept the email, but it legit it actually said it was like, no, this is how the shirt's supposed to be. We use one printing for every. I'm like, no, you don't. I've bought merchandise before. I've never seen printing this small on a men's 4XL. It was the dumbest thing I ever had. I ended up wearing it became a work shirt for me. But like, yeah, it was ridiculous.
Do you still have that shirt?
What's that?
You still have that?
No. That ended up like at Goodwill or in the trash, one of the two. But yeah, I really should have kept it as well, like just for the humor factor. But
I can't believe you never had a League of Nations shirt with Sheamus on it. I that sounded like that would have been right up your alley. The whole League of Nations. Yeah.
I had I think I had the Rusev League.
Oh, okay.
It's either Rusev or Barrett, I believe. One of those two. I had the League. And those were neat shirts. I actually did enjoy. I actually did like those.
I have one. I actually might have the Sheamus one of there. I'd have to look.
Oh, solid. Devin has Jeff Hardy picking up the win over Sheamus.
He's drunk.
Singles match for the Raw Women's title. We got Asuka taking on Nia Jax. Myself, Tim, intern Mark, we all have Asuka retaining. I just, again, I don't see them moving this title. I actually only have one title change and I already predicted it. So, but if there was another one that was going to move, I feel like it would be this one. Like just the way that the stories kind of progress. Now I know Nia got the upper hand this past Monday. So historically speaking, and I don't think we ever got Tim to do the homework on this one to find out just how accurate it was. I think one of his first assignments after he joined the show was to dig back years into the archives and find out just how many times that theory held true. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm picking Asuka, but I wouldn't be shocked if Nia walks out with the Raw Women's title.
I also have Asuka winning here, but I have Asuka breaking one finger and losing an eye by the hands of Nia Jax.
Okay. All right.
So who really is the winner here?
I don't know. Maybe us, the viewer. I think maybe that would be the winner. Matt, who do you got in this one?
So we win by seeing Asuka get maimed. Okay. No argument there.
I said I don't know. I mean, it just all depends how it's executed. I have no idea.
I mean, that standing tall theory, that does get thrown around a lot. Jim, I see you coming back in as James Neese as watching just because you want me to change the name, and that doesn't count. So this.
Oh no! I was trying to bring back up my the watch party.
Okay.
Because I had gone away from it there for a second.
High school Jerry McDonald always held true to the theory that the face always wins at WrestleMania, and that was true until it wasn't. So
fair.
The standing tall thing, it would be interesting to see. So that's more of like an intern homework. What the hell is Mark doing right now? Hershey Park's closed, Hawkins closed.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He's got the time to do this. But I don't know why they would take the belt, give it to Asuka, just to give it to Nia right away when they could have just done that to begin with. So I have the belt remaining on Asuka, even though Nia's not like most girls.
She is not. And it's obviously got to stay on Asuka because 2 months from now, it's going to probably end up on Charlotte Flair anyway at SummerSlam. So Why
Right.
bounce? Why move it over to Nia just to move it over to Charlotte in 2 months anyway? Devin has Asuka retaining. Then we have the 2-on-1 handicap match for the Universal Championship. Miz and Morrison challenging Braun Strowman.
Ryan screen is frozen again.
Ryan froze again. Oh, I think he was changing his name. Maybe that was part.
Freeze me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like again, and I said it. If you are a patron for us, I know this was post Patreon. Ryan had frozen, and I never know if you're messing with me or if you are actually frozen. So I will always throw it to Ryan, and if you're not frozen, then you can respond. But Tim, Mark, and myself have Braun Strowman retaining. As much as I would love to see, Lay Cool as Divas champion in the version of the Miz and Morrison and what that would look like as Universal champion, I feel like the Universal title has had a hard enough time people like really taking it legitimately. Because it's basically like been Brock Lesnar's prop forever. And then it was like what we thought was the downfall of Bray Wyatt. So now that it's on Braun Strowman, I don't think they're going to move it, this close to him winning it. But I would love to see it. But I have Strowman, and so does Tim and Mark. Ryan, go ahead. Jesus Christ. And again, I don't know. I don't know if he's actually frozen or not. No? Okay. Right. Go ahead.
Of course Braun Strowman's going to win this. It's going to be a dumb match, A+.
Thank you. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they would take it off of Braun at this point. It doesn't make any sense to do that. I'm anxious to see what Jim's going to grade this overall. From top to bottom, I loved it except for these 4 matches. But you know what? A++++.
You mean like the show itself?
Yeah.
I mean, if they give us like a vintage Backlash set, then maybe I'll give it.
I mean, how do we feel about the name Backlash? Like, is that like a step above Fastlane? Like, I know that's always, which Fastlane's a step above Great Balls of Fire, right?
Yeah, Roadblock's in there too.
That's what, dude. I forgot about Roadblock. I think Backlash is okay. Like it's one that comes from the land of like pay-per-views that had the distinct sets. So like I feel like that's a step above like Fastlane. Oh crap, my screen moved. There we go. It's above that and Great Balls of Fire and stuff like that. So I think I'm okay with the name. If you're gonna give me Todd Pettengill again for whatever reason, then you're already getting a step above on the grade as well.
I mean, when you're thinking of like names of pay-per-views that aren't just like tied to the gimmick matches, like so take away Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, I guess Survivor Series to an extent as well. Like there's tiers, there have to be, right? So like tier 1's obviously WrestleMania, SummerSlam, that kind. Where does
even if you get away from the big 4?
Yeah. Okay.
Like I feel like the big 4 is kind of, that's what we knew. Like once you got In Your House, and then it was like, In Your House, Deadly Games, In Your House, Canadian Stampede. And then it started just becoming, Judgment Day, Armageddon, Unforgiven. I feel like once we hit that, like that period of time, I think those are the ones.
I mean, for all of like, and I've never been a WCW guy, but I always felt like WCW at least like was a bit more creative with their pay-per-view names. And I kind of prefer what they had with their pay-per-view names over just like the generic stuff that we kind of got with WWE, with like the Armageddons, the Night of Champions, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like there was a really good period in there with WWE in terms of names, and then and then we've kind of got a little like goofy with it. Like when you got down to having a TLC pay-per-view and you have one TLC match, or Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and you only have one Elimination Chamber match. Like when you get into the early 2000s, you had like No Way Out, Backlash, Insurrection. This is 2001. Judgment Day, Invasion, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Vengeance.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought you were just listing off Creed albums right there.
Like I didn't think those were that bad. Armageddon is probably one of my more favorite like non Big Four pay-per-view names that they ever had. And also part of it too was, and I'm not a person who's necessarily in favor of bringing back a unique set for each and every single pay-per-view. Like if you have, I think you could have Royal Rumble stand on its own now because you're doing them in baseball stadiums. But I think if you had like a SummerSlam set, a Survivor Series set, WrestleMania also stands on its own. But then if you had like a set for the rest of the pay-per-views, and then and again you could kind of steal it from AEW, you kind of just have other props around that would differentiate Backlash to Unforgiven. I don't know what those props would be, but just that it's different than a Monday Night Raw, it's different than SmackDown, but you don't necessarily because custom staging is crazy expensive too. Like some of those things that WWE did in the early 2000s, I don't even want to know what those pay-per-view sets would cost now for one night. Like but yeah, the names, especially in recent years, have definitely gotten a little out of control.
I mean, at the same time, they could probably auction off those like pieces of those sets, and idiots like us would be like, "Oh yeah, I want a piece of that."
You're not wrong. Like I think 2017, and I think that was the year with like the most pay-per-view events too. But like you had Elimination Chamber, and then you had Fastlane, you had Payback, Backlash, Extreme Rules, and again, how many of those matches were Extreme Rules matches? Money in the Bank, Great Balls of Fire, Battleground, No Mercy, Hell in a Cell, TLC, Survivor Series, Clash of Champions. Yeah, when did they give us Roadblock? That was
Roadblock was I think a once and done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was 2016. Roadblock, End of the Line.
And did Extreme Rules give us the stairs match?
Or I think that was the TLC.
TLC, yeah, tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
God, real bad, real bad.
Jim, I know you're. I'll give you a spoiler here. Unfortunately, there's no mention of the stairs match in the Big Show show. I'm sorry if you were waiting.
Why am I even going to watch it?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No, I do. I started it. I gotta see this thing out.
Backlash, the name dates back to what 1999, I think, was the first year. It took a bit of a hiatus and then came back to us just recently. We only had a few of them, I think. So I don't know what it was called between, I think 2010, 2009 was the last one. I think
some of those is probably where we got the Great Balls of Fire, and we got
that's fair.
Fastlane got introduced and things like that.
It at least made sense in what they were talking about, like the Fastlane to WrestleMania. Great Balls of Fire was just like, what was the logic behind Great Balls of Fire?
They needed an excuse to use the Jerry Lee Lewis song.
Like the rest
right, they found the rights to Jerry Lee Lewis in a briefcase.
Vince found the record. He was cleaning out his office and goes, "God damn, this is good shit, pal. Jerry Lee Lewis."
Like the rest of the stuff is stuff I could see like Triple H just like having tattooed on his body, like, "Hey, No Way Out on my back."
No, that's on Steph's back. There's No Way Out. No, that was bad. Backlash originated in '99, so it went 99. It went all the way through to 2009. So it had 11 events, 99 through 2009. They brought it back 2016, 2017, 2018.
Okay.
It took last year off, and now it's back.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I pulled up the
Yeah.
1999 Backlash card. It's surprisingly good for that time. They had heat on so we had 4 heat matches, which I can't believe they crammed 4 matches onto a heat show. Nicole Bass and Val Venus took on D'Lo Brown and Ivory.
Wow.
That match lasted 1 minute and 43 seconds, so you understand the time frame we're
That's
in.
how they got 4 matches on Heat. Got it.
Draws and Prince Albert defeated Too Much in 1 minute and 9 seconds. Kane defeated the Big Boss Man in 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay.
And Viscera defeated Test in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. The longest match on Heat was 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Well, because the thing too, those Heat shows, they also used it as the free for all to promote the pay-per-view, to get you to buy the show. So I'm like, how are you going to cram 4 matches and promotion into 40 minutes of TV, because there was commercials?
Was that on MTV, I think?
It's either MTV or USA.
Or USA?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It could have been on MTV when USA lost the licensing for those couple years, because Raw went to TNN,
which turned into Spike.
Right. And then
yeah, that makes sense.
Probably went to MTV at that point.
So what did the rest of that card real quick?
The main card was the Ministry of Darkness, which was Farouk, Bradshaw, and Midian. They defeated the Brood in 11 minutes and 38 seconds.
Okay.
Al Snow defeated Hardcore Holly in a hardcore match, which clocks in at 15 minutes and 27 seconds. So maybe that's when we go back and do a watch along with, because what the hell took 15 minutes in that match?
Yeah, write that down. Somebody write that down.
Write it down.
That'll be a good watch along.
The Godfather defeated Goldust with the Blue Meanie for the Intercontinental Championship. That's 5 minutes, 12 seconds. The Godfather was the IC champion at the time. The New Age Outlaws defeated Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. That determined the #1 contender for the tag team championships. Mankind defeated Big Show in a Boiler Room Brawl match.
Wow,
Triple H defeated X-Pac in 19 minutes and 19 seconds. That's a long match.
Yeah.
20-minute X-Pac match?
I was doing it. 20.
Right?
Wow.
What's going on? The Undertaker defeated Ken Shamrock. That match was 18:53, so just under 22 minutes. And the main event was a no holds barred match for the WWF Championship. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock.
Okay.
Matt's favorite wrestler, Shane McMahon, was the special guest referee.
Oh, where's the damn? There it is.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I like how Matt just looked off the screen when that plays. He's like, nope, looking away.
It's the Russ Vitale disgust. The look of
face.
disgust. The look of disgust.
Where's the gabagool?
Denise checking in because Charlie is putting together a desk. He's not allowed to come out and play, but Charlie said at least it's not Coastal Crush. Was that a WCW pay-per-view?
No, I think he's thinking Crush like the Hawaiian Crush, right?
No, well, we were talking about pay-per-view names and bad pay-per-view names.
Oh, Coastal Crush.
Unless
that sounds like a goddamn 7-Up drink.
It looks NWA Clash of Champions number 11 was named the Coastal Crush. That was
no shit.
June 13th. Oh, we're almost at the anniversary. We're almost at the 30-year anniversary of that one. June the 13th, 1990. NWA Clash of Champions number 11 was the Coastal Crush in Charleston, South Carolina. So there we go.
Didn't know that.
There we go. That one was main evented. The NWA World Heavyweight title. Junkyard Dog defeats Ric Flair with Ole Anderson. Flair was defending the title. That was by DQ, 6 minutes, 37 seconds. There we go.
Right by the Dairy Queen.
Coastal Crush. All right, Devin had Braun Strowman winning that one. Matt, did you predict this one? I lost track. Ryan, did you predict this match?
What match?
Strowman versus The Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Yeah. Braun Strowman.
Strowman. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't remember. It got that far away from us. That,
we really went down the rabbit hole there.
we absolutely did. Hey, I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine. I thought I had a Braun Strowman soundbite somewhere on here. Ah, hell, I lost it.
Was it?
I think it's the one where he was running.
I'm not finished with you.
There it is.
The theme song was in Shout His Own Name.
All right, we got the singles match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defending against Bobby Lashley.
Bob!
I have McIntyre retaining, so does Mark and Tim. But I said it a couple weeks ago. I'll say it again. I've really, and I can't believe it, but I've really been enjoying this version of Bobby Lashley with MVP. This to me is more what Bobby Lashley should be, and that's an ass kicker. Like, so I like this version of Bobby Lashley. Not enough to where I think he should be WWE champion at this point. But if they keep going, maybe I'll change my mind on that one. I also think Lashley could be in line for a potential returning Brock Lesnar. That's something I feel like could be happening. I feel like that would be a great SummerSlam match, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. But yeah, Drew retaining.
Jim, Bob Lashley is on the wrong side of 30. Can you guess how old Bob Lashley is?
I'm gonna go 38. Matt, do you have a
Matthew?
prediction?
Is that your actual guess that Bob Lashley's 38?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was like 44.
He is 43.
Wow. Okay.
Bob!
Yeah. So I don't think it's gonna happen for old Bob here. 35-year-old who's still on the wrong side of 30 apparently, from whatever numbers we determined at one time. Drew McIntyre, I think, will be. Is that what it is? Yeah, Drew McIntyre, Big Mac Attack. We'll be winning here.
You know, I knew you two snowflakes would go against the man that Donald Trump chose to represent in a hand. Here he is, just standing up for America, and you want to pick this Irish guy.
A small loan of $1 million.
No, Drew McIntyre wins.
All right, good.
China.
Devin has Drew McIntyre. Chris says Lashley is going to win the belt to be a transitional champion for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Certainly could be in the cards. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that is what is going to happen. I do think Lesnar is going to return, and I do think we're going to get Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, but I think it is going to be without any championship attached to it. But trust me, I wouldn't put it past the WWE to make that happen at this point either. And then the final match of the
Hey
card.
Matt, I've got like 7 different people that joined along in my watch party. So I love Charlie's name. You're not seeing it. You're not changing.
I just renamed myself.
I say he literally just did.
Oh, there it is. I didn't even see it. It just came up. Okay, never mind.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I got Steve live with us now. Ty live with us. Hello, guys. Thank you for checking in. Dan, Ali, Tina, a whole bunch of people are checking in over here.
We definitely appreciate it. We appreciate all the love from people. Then the final match on the Backlash card.
He raked my back. No, he didn't literally rake it.
Is we got the greatest wrestling match ever. Ever. We got Edge against Randy Orton. Of course, Edge won the marathon match at WrestleMania this year. Intern Mark has Edge picking up the win in the greatest match ever. I have Randy Orton, and so does Tim has Randy Orton. I don't think this is the last greatest match ever that we're going to see out of these guys. But yeah, Randy Orton picking up the victory here.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I'm not sure who it's gonna be. I'll go with Edge.
All right,
Edge, because I think 250-year-olds are definitely gonna put on one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
I mean, you never know.
A+.
A+.
I mean,
22 minutes.
Orton's kind of backed himself into the corner now too. I mean, he talked all that shit on NXT last week. He has to put on the greatest match.
Tomato chips.
I think this is going to be an absolute F of a match. I'm not looking forward to it at all. But Orton will get the win just because they need to carry out this feud that, you know, apparently a lot of people want to see.
Who wants to see it?
A lot of people? A lot of people want to see this? I mean, I don't mind them wrestling. I don't. And like, here's the thing. Like, I know back when they were first promoting this as the greatest match ever, like people kind of lost their damn minds about it. And I'm like, look, I get it. It's a marketing thing. It's going to be a merch piece, whatever. I wish I could get 50 cents every time they say the greatest match ever on an episode of Raw, or play that the song that they have for the promo, because I would be a rich man.
I feel like you said merch there, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
And what
Merchandising.
what is the song? Like, can you sing a few bars for me?
No, I don't think I want to keep the viewers that we have.
It's by Code Orange, isn't it?
Probably, I would imagine.
No, it's like,
Give me the tune. How does it go, Jim? You're a musical guy. You play like the drums.
Well, no, I don't play the drums currently because I don't have any drums in my house. But
I mean,
bang on your fucking belly or whatever.
bang on my belly. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't want to embarrass anybody either, namely myself. Devin has Edge picking up the victory in this one.
you
So
know, I would bet dollars that if you played the tune on your belly, we would gain viewers.
yeah, well, you know, maybe. Let's save that kind of activity when Ryan and Tim are back in studio here, and we can, you know, we can do that shirtless episode Ryan's always wanted to do, and we'll do the 3 tenors of shirtless belly playing.
Yeah, we'll be the new Stomp.
Like, I think I'll be so happy that there's people actually in the studio with me again that I would actually probably do the topless show. So, you know, keep sending positive vibes that the coronavirus gets the fuck out of here, and we can get back to having my friends in studio, because I miss it. Like, don't get me wrong, I like this Zoom thing, and I think even once Ryan and company are back in studio, we can still do this so we can see Matt every week. But
he is the cute one.
He is the cute one.
That's the face for radio.
That's what my dad always said. I was like, gee, thanks, Dad. Now I wonder why I'm in therapy. But the but no, I do look forward to the day when we are back in studio together, because I do miss that.
Day, Ryan eating chicken croquettes with his Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Big Booty Judy just serving us omelet and fries. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I freaking miss it, man.
Can't wait.
I really do. Charlie says, word to the wise, gentlemen, don't ever let your wife buy a desk from Wayfair. They're harder to put together than fucking IKEA. I think this desk took some Blue Chew. So if you're keeping track at home, just be careful where you're buying the furnitures from. All right, let's move on here from the paper. Do we have a prediction on what grade we think this show will get? Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, this one is going to be a D.
A D. Wow.
It can only get better than I'm imagining this fucking show to go.
There you
go. It's going to be awful.
setting the expectations low. Matt, what do you think that this show will be?
I'm gonna say that you gotta watch the live video. If you want to know what I would rather watch in this pay-per-view, you gotta tune in and see what I name my
So Matt, you're going in with the low grade.
grade.
I think that this show will do a solid C plus. C plus. Devin says C. The question of the week, the old
The 3 count question of the week.
I said, which match are you most looking forward to?
The
I'm
last one.
the- Matt, go ahead.
Which match am I most looking
Looking forward to?
I would say that the women's tag match.
The women's tag. I'm gonna go ahead with Braun versus the Miz and Morrison, just because I think it'll be a little bit comedic, and I'll hold out some hope that the Miz and Morrison, like I said, will end up as dual champions. But that's the one I'm most looking forward to. Don't forget that after this on Sunday, the next installment of The Last Ride debuts on the network. So, but that was your
The 3 count question of the week.
all right, let's move. Charlie says he thinks the pay-per-view could be a low-key good show because expectations are so low.
When they ship you the desk and you're putting it together, just word to the wise, the glue, you're not supposed to sniff it. I'm sorry, man.
That's good. All right. So obviously over the past few weeks on Raw, we have seen the battle segments between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. I think they're one of the more like polarizing like things that WWE's done from like a like character development standpoint. I'll be honest, the first one when it was just the Viking Raiders in the car singing or something, I was like, this is awful. But I have actually enjoyed the battle segments, the basketball, the golf, the axe throwing, bowling. I have found them to be extremely entertaining. Why the Viking Raiders are involved in this can be debatable. Like I think they're trying to appeal them to people that want more than just really great tag team wrestlers or wrestlers, period. But I have enjoyed the segments. I think they've been entertaining as hell. Ryan, your thoughts on them?
I'd rather watch the Big Show than a segment with these two battling out in things that are not at all wrestling related, and they're not even accurate. It's horse shit. The bowling thing, no one bowls like that. Get out of here.
You're getting hung up on the accuracy of it.
It's garbage. And I can only imagine, Jim, if they have something like the Jurassic Express and the Dark Order doing this on AEW, you would poo-poo all over it.
I can't confirm nor deny. You
can.
I can't because they have AEW hasn't done that yet. They just have every match, with interference and chaos at the end of every show. But
that's fair.
But Matt, your thoughts on these segments?
They don't have a pig match, so Jim can't say on it. I mean, and to be fair, both sides of the coin, Ryan, you sat through Big Boss Man feeding Al Snow his own dog, and the believability of the way bowlers are holding their bowling balls is what really does it. But no, it's absolute garbage.
I mean, if we're talking believability, why are we even here? Okay, let's be honest. If believability speak, I don't know that Jungle Jack Perry would really hold his weight against Cody Rhodes. But you know, I just believability. Um, it,
You mean Al Snow didn't eat pepper? That wasn't real.
wasn't real.
He might have. I mean, again, it's the Attitude Era. Who knows?
That's true. That is entirely. I'm surprised. You know, looking back at some of the things they did during the Attitude Era, I'm actually shocked they didn't show them cooking the dog, like actually cooking the dog.
How many wrestlers ate Sonny's roast beef? I mean,
Ah!
Oh, God.
Go!
Let's see here. Going back, Chris is the one he's most looking forward to is Edge Orton. Least looking forward is Asuka and Nia, simply to the fact that Nia is like watching a botch fest. Devin says he thinks these segments have been okay. But I feel like most people either like
Way
love
to sit
them
on the
or hate
fence, Devin.
Ringing endorsement.
But like, no, I feel like either people find them entertaining, and that is probably the more unpopular opinion, or people absolutely hate it. Like, I don't. There's not a lot of Devins out there that are sitting on the fence about these segments. This was something I had seen on Twitter, and I did post it to our Facebook page, and it was, if you could change the ending to any WrestleMania match, what would it be? So that you guys didn't know I was going to pop the question on you. I'll read a couple of the responses here from the Facebook page. Tyler says Lesnar Undertaker. Simple fact that was supposed to be the end of Taker, but he's returned and even lost again at WrestleMania. So the WWE's kind of been backpedaling on that. Jason has Hart and Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9. He would have had Hart retain and then face Hulk Hogan in a mega feud. Mario has Crush and Savage at WrestleMania 10. The match was undervalued as the Falls Count Anywhere. Nick has the Charlotte, Becky, Sasha from WrestleMania 32. He would have Sasha win instead of Charlotte. Tiffany has Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I assume the first of the WrestleMania matches, or one of the WrestleMania matches. She said she thinks the rivalry could have gone on longer. Tarian has Lesnar and Taker. Someone else should have ended the streak. Devin says Rock Cena at WrestleMania 29. He would have added CM Punk, made it a triple threat. For me, and this type of question, I feel like this will always be my answer to it. And Matt, you can write up a funny name for this one if you want. But the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12, I would have loved to have seen Bret Hart retain there. And I think if that would have happened, like looking back on it, how much different the WWE, WWF could have been since, after that, because it was, the next year had, like, Bret had come back to take on Austin, and it was part of that feud, and then by the time he hit WrestleMania 14, Bret was gone, and Michaels was wrestling his last match for a number of years. So a lot of things changed after WrestleMania 12, but my answer for that will always be Bret and Shawn at WrestleMania 12.
I feel like I tweeted my answer and you didn't read it.
I didn't see it on there.
That hurts my feelings.
Wow.
I didn't see it on there.
You liked it and shared it or retweeted it, whatever you do on the tweeters.
Did I? Let me
Yeah, take your time.
I do not see any response from you on here. Unless it's not showing up on my iPad. Let me pull it up on the computer.
No,
here.
that's fine. You don't have to go out of your way. I might have fucked up. Who knows?
Ryan is blocked from the 3 Count Thursday.
Yeah.
Oops. Now, so this is how he finds
me
out.
and JBL, I believe.
Let's see.
I'm
Matt, do you have a response while I look for this?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think Punk should have gone over Taker at WrestleMania before the streak was broken. I think Punk was the one that had kind of earned that for him. You know, who knows? Maybe at this point he's still in WWE. You know, we don't lose him. And I've always been the CM Punk apologist of the group. So I just kind of think like we lost Punk before Bryan was really hitting his stride in WWE. I think that could have been just a fantastic storyline told. So that would have been my pick in terms of recent stuff. But, you know, if we go back further, I don't necessarily agree with, you know, Cena just burying the shit out of out of everyone at WrestleMania. I don't agree with The Miz going over Cena at WrestleMania. So there's just
you bite your tongue.
It's just a lot. But
Ryan, I found yours. It was on Twitter, not on Facebook. That's why.
Oh, you were reading from Facebook.
I was reading from Facebook.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely on the Tweety thingy.
Yeah, he says I'd have Bruce Pritchard go over Iron Sheik in the gimmick battle royal. Solid.
Exactly
Solid.
what I would do.
Just a couple from Twitter. Charlie had Punk or Orton to end the streak. Booker over Hunter. Brock over Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. I would just not have that match. Like that match could just never exist, and I think we'd all much be better off. Hulk never beats Yoko. Asuka over Charlotte.
And the other one that glaringly sticks out is Cena over Rusev at WrestleMania when we had the tank entrance. I think that was
yeah
opportunity as well.
That was a mistake. Or Bray Wyatt over John Cena at WrestleMania 30 as well. So yeah. Once we got into some of these more recent WrestleManias, I feel like a common theme is John Cena not winning. How about that? How about we go with that as a shouldn't have happened. All right, let's look at this here. I saw this article on Fightful.com. Charlotte Flair says she's extremely proud of Tessa Blanchard winning the Impact World Championship and remains optimistic that something similar may be in her future as well. Charlotte, of course, has been the driving force and standout star of the women's evolution in WWE, with 12 women's championships under her belt. There are those that feel the only step up for her is to take a leap into intergender wrestling. When she was in an interview asked about Tessa Blanchard winning the world championship in Impact. She said, "It's something that I want to pursue, but if you look at the big picture, when women are succeeding in different organizations all around the world, we're all succeeding and we're all winning from that. So for her to hold that accolade, we should support and just be extremely proud as a woman to see her do that, because when one's doing well, we're all doing well." So Charlotte did kind of hint that she would like to possibly one day hold a men's title. And I put that in quotes because, you know, it's not a, you know, obviously the Raw women's title, SmackDown women's title, women's tag title, but none of the quote unquote men's titles are actually men's there's no rule that says they are men's championships. Like obviously the first step in this potentially happening at any point would be the WWE having to be willing to go down the intergender wrestling route at all, which we haven't really seen, you know, besides what Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania a couple of years ago when Ronda kind of went at it with Triple H. So there's not a lot of instances in today's WWE of that. So you'd have to go there first. Now, like, is this something that you think will actually happen at some point in the WWE?
No, I just don't think the WWE and their target audience is interested in watching that.
Okay. How about you, Matt?
This is a question I want to pose to everyone that we have on the podcast in terms of female wrestlers is, do we see this? And the resounding answer and the answer that I would give myself is, do we really want to? I think that the intergender thing is kind of something that is sacred to independent wrestling. Like, we as independent wrestling fans kind of need to hold on to some things as like, hey, this is ours, don't mess with it. I think deathmatch style wrestling is something that will always be just exclusive to indies, and I think intergender wrestling falls into that same field. I know we've seen it, or we've seen hints at it on the main stage. The Tessa Blanchard thing is one thing. We've seen some like hints at it in WWE at Rumbles. Nia Jax and Dean Ambrose. We had the whole Becky Lynch and Ellsworth thing, so it's something they've kind of toyed with, but it's never something they've fully embraced. And I don't think it's something that they should, just because that's kind of like a quirk or of the indie scene, is just like, hey, we can do this. This makes us kind of separate from WWE. And I think WWE should kind of leave it alone, because I don't think they would ever really do it the right way.
Yeah, it's and obviously, I think if there's somebody that they're going to have do it, it will probably be Charlotte Flair. She's been the most heavily pushed superstar on the women's roster, and and it would seem the most likely that Charlotte would be the benefactor if they would ever go this route. But I don't think they do. And it's not because they shouldn't, or that women couldn't compete with the men. I know Charlie in the comments said if China can win the Intercontinental title, Charlotte could absolutely. And maybe it's not even that Charlotte would end up as WWE champion or Universal champion. Maybe she would go after the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title. And I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that either. It's just I kind of agree with you, Matt, that I don't know that the WWE would necessarily do it the right way. If anything, and not necessarily Charlotte, because she's not a full-time member of the NXT roster. Hell, she wasn't a full-time member of the NXT roster when she was NXT champion for the last couple of months. But I could more see it if like a Rhea Ripley would go after the NXT championship, or something, something along those lines. Like, I could see this more in NXT, because for like the reasons Ryan said, that's kind of the more indie portion of the WWE. And out of all the major programs from WWE, and I'll lump in AEW, NXT is the most wrestling out of those programs. So like, I could see it more there if it happens, but I don't think it happens at all. Not that it shouldn't, I just don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't even know if it happens in a place like AEW. I'm trying to think and go through their roster. I just, especially with the caliber wrestlers that they're putting. I don't want to say caliber, that's the wrong word. But I don't know. I just don't see a female competitor wrestling a Chris Jericho or a Dean Moxley, or I'm sorry, John Moxley, successfully on TNT. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, no, I Impact kind of struck on something that wrestling fans are somewhat unfamiliar with anymore, and it worked for them. And I think that'll be more of an outlier as opposed to like something that happens regularly in any company. But yeah, like I said, if it would happen, I don't think, to me anyway, I don't think there's any doubt that it's Charlotte. Just because, like I jokingly said that, right after she loses the NXT women's title, she's kind of right back in the the picture, it would seem, for the Raw Women's title. So that's just she's well on her way to beating Ric Flair's 16 World Championships. But just a couple of news pieces. Earlier this week, New Japan had a press conference announcing their return in here in this month of June. They will have, I think it's the tournament show. I tried to pull the original link, but it was no longer up, so they must have moved them. That will be without fans. Dominion in July will be a 2-night show where they will have limited fans in attendance, and then a series of shows. So New Japan is on their way back. That is good news. Obviously, they've been sitting completely idle for the past couple of months, and for those that are well into New Japan, this is obviously welcome news to them. It's not something that has ever been in my regular viewership, but for those that do, they're excited about it. I think last week we may have talked a little bit about some of the rumors surrounding Adam Cole and his end of contract, that it was expiring soon. According to PW Insider, Adam Cole has well over 18 months left on his current deal with WWE. So obviously at this point, no plans on him moving on from NXT at this time, and obviously still retaining his NXT title this past weekend. We also talked about when we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. There's been stories here and there about when actual fans, as opposed to wrestlers in the crowd, may be returning to shows. But a fan had recently posted a picture of themselves outside of Full Sail Live and asked Triple H when there will be an audience in the building again. Triple H quote retweeted it and said soon. The state of Florida has continuing plans of reopen. They've been one of the more progressive states in terms of their reopening plans. So it'll be interesting to see, and probably sooner than later, that both WWE and AEW may have some fans in the building, at least to some degree. I mean, obviously, I think you're going to see a lot of space between people. It will be minimal crowds. Like AEW obviously has a little bit more of an advantage if we're talking numbers, because Daly's Place is much larger than Full Sail Live, or even the Performance Center. So even at a socially distant crowd, AEW would have more people there. But it'll be definitely interesting to see when fans might return. And the last thing I have news-wise, last night was FTR's in-ring debut with Dynamite. I don't know if you guys had caught that. I thought the match was really good, but I just, we talked about jumping the shark a little bit earlier. Not necessarily that that's what the post-match segment was there, but I thought the post-match stuff kind of made FTR look a little goofy, not that strong. I think if you just do the match, do a quick, hey, this is who the hell we are, and then you get out of there, then it turns into a melee. I just think it did FTR a bit of a disservice. Now, I mean, AEW, if you look down their tag division, I think next week's Dynamite is like stacked with tag matches. By all accounts, AEW doing tag team wrestling really, really well, arguably better than anybody right now. But I didn't like the way that segment left FTR. I felt it to be a little wonky.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the end goal was to have the two members of FTR clearly outnumbered by the Elite. It just didn't make a ton of sense. What I took away from it, though, is again how much I love Hangman Page, just like slowly meandering to the ring, clearly not in wrestling gear, drinking his booze. It's just good stuff. I love what they're doing with Hangman. Yeah, I don't know. FTRs they debuted. I thought it was a great match. I think Butcher and the Blade are quietly putting on really, really good matches when they're in the ring, and they're not quite getting the recognition from anybody out there. But I think they're putting on really good matches. So Butcher and the Blade fan here, I'll take that.
The match was really, really good. Really good. I agree. A great way to open the show, by the way. Matt, any thoughts?
I just haven't gotten a chance to catch up to it yet. I'm in the office this week, so typically when I'm working from home, I have it on in the background while I'm at work. So just haven't had the opportunity yet. So thanks for ruining it, you dicks.
Hey, like I said, like Ryan always says, if you don't want to be spoiled, watch it when it's live. I have nothing else this week. I don't know if you guys have any other topics, quick hitters on things to discuss. Ryan?
Real quick, we were talking about the old Impact Wrestling. I just pulled up the Impact Wrestling champions. Can you guys name? And it's just shame I don't watch it enough. Can you guys name any of the Impact champions other than Tessa Blanchard?
What was that one, Matt?
EC3.
Not yet. Not yet.
That's trouble. Is Jordan Grace the Knockouts champion?
Jordan Grace is the Knockouts champion. Yes.
What are their other titles? The X Division and the Tag.
The X Division and their Tag. Yes.
So the X Division is Shark Boy, and their tag team champions are
America's Most Wanted. Who?
Yeah, Beer Money.
Beer Money. No. It is Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, our old friend Ethan Page. I remember him. Wrestled there in the Lancaster a lot with KPW. They're their tag team champions. And Willie Mack is the X Division champion. Okay. And I didn't know this again because I don't watch it, but apparently they have a stable called Cancel Culture in Impact. It's RVD and Katie Forbes who got into some trouble when they did like those racy pictures.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? Jacob Crisp and Joseph P. Ryan, who was known as Joey Ryan. They've all joined forces to rid Impact of everything toxic. They are now the Cancel Culture of Impact Wrestling.
So their right to censor is what you're telling me.
Right.
Essentially, it's their right to censor. The group bonded over unique forms of criticism that they received on social media. Now they've drastically changed all their personalities, deeming the public no longer deserves to observe what they do. So kind of a unique flavor on the right to censor. Cancel Culture over there at Impact Wrestling. Oh, what a theme!
So bad, right?
So bad.
Just the worst.
No, that's icky.
Like what an awful entrance theme.
So
for
bad
for anybody to hear. If nobody has anything else, Matt, if you want to plug the Instagrams and plug your Twitter and all that stuff.
Plug away. Instagram, we've just kind of been taking a break. With everything going on, we just kind of let things happen. I'll try to get back on next week though. Because the main thing of our Instagram was just always to promote women's wrestling too. So we'll get back to that next week. The YouTube channel does still have our 3 Count Thursday Mad Libs tomorrow at 5:00. 3 Count Thursday Mad Libs welcomes Maddie Max, our 2017 Woman of the Year.
Very nice.
To do that. And then on Saturday, Gemma Cross will be making an appearance on there. So, you've seen her on Stan Styles' Intergender Bonanza. And, we'll look to get Stan himself on here in the near future. I think that'd be a fun Mad Libs to have. But, we'll have a couple on there for you next week as well. I know right out of the gates, we have one every day. We'll have about 3 this week and probably about the same next week. So, just keep subscribing, watching. Hope you're enjoying them. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at 3CT, the letter A, Philly as in Philadelphia, the number 8. So 3CT affiliate. Basketball is coming back end of July. So You have about a month and a half until I get really obnoxious, and then after that, Notre Dame comes back, the Eagles come back. So follow now, and then you can block me come like July.
Devin, see you, buddy. Take care of yourself. Ryan, let people know where they can follow you if they want to follow you.
I don't know why you'd want to.
Just give it anyway.
It's RYN and then the word Eagle, RYNEAGLE, and that's across all platforms myself. I occasionally post a picture on Instagram. I don't know what to post over there. I'm not an exciting person. I occasionally tweet.
Don't let Ryan fool you.
I looked. I think I have around 9,000 tweets. I tweeted 9,000, which is a ton of times for me. I can't believe that.
That's a lot. Matt, what were you saying about Ryan?
I was saying that's not Ryan's Instagram name at all. So don't follow RYN Eagle on Instagram.
Yeah, he would know. I don't fucking know. See?
Magnum AFI on Instagram.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah, there's a funny story there, but that's for another time.
Maybe
another time, another day. But yeah, I don't know. I'll post a picture occasionally. I don't know. My most recent tweets is when President Don tweets out Law and Order. I just tweet out one of my favorite shows as a retweet, or I question him if he means criminal intent VU. So he hasn't responded yet. I don't know what he's talking about. As long as he keeps tweeting it, I'm going to keep putting out my favorite shows.
China.
All right, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. I've been spending considerably less time on social media the past couple weeks just for my own mental health. But you can follow me there. You can also follow the show. That's what you should probably do at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also head over to 3countthursday.com. That's where you find all the links. You'll find our link to our YouTube. You'll find our link to all of our podcast streams. We're on Spotify now. Our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver!
Thank you. Our Patreon, our home network, NGSC Sports. We also stream at leapsports.com. Ryan, that is... Oh, he froze. LEEIB Sports.
Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, go.
LEEIBsports.com.
All right, thank you, and much, much more. Until next week, everybody, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves, and as always, go for the pin.